It's just the ideal way to spread COVID from one person to another.
After a large wedding was held near Ritzville, nearly 40 confirmed COVID-19 cases are now linked to the event.
We're always short-staffed, and then you add a different population, the COVID population. It's just been taxing on everybody.
Tonight, we share perspective from a Sacred Heart nurse on working conditions inside the intensive care unit right now. And in weather, we are tracking more rain. I'll tell you when it arrives next.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm Regina On.
And I'm Tom Sherry. Whitney and Mark are off this evening. Well, it is being called the ideal way for coronavirus to spread. Health authorities in central Washington are now investigating after nearly 40 people have tested positive for COVID-19. This comes after attending a large wedding.
And it happened outside of Ritzville earlier this month, and authorities say around 300 people attended that wedding. KREM 2's Taylor Vito reports from Adams County tonight, where health officials were already worried about coronavirus cases there to begin with.
The Adams County Health Department says they're definitely concerned about this wedding and what could come about as a result of it. They add that coronavirus case numbers here in Adams County aren't where they'd like them to be.
And so this sort of event is very frustrating to public health because it increases those numbers.
Health leaders in central Washington say they're now handling the fallout from a large wedding that happened in Adams County earlier this month. According to the health district in neighboring Grant County, more than 300 people attended the wedding, which was outside of Ritzville. The Grant County Health District first shared the news since they have over a dozen cases tied to the event. An online invite for the wedding led us to this remote location in Adams County.
But I believe it actually might have been at a potato shed. But it was just a farm location kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
The wedding invite, which has since been taken down, invited guests to, quote, grab a drink and help the couple celebrate. According to state guidelines at the time, weddings shouldn't have exceeded more than 30 people. But with well over triple that amount, health officials say they're now tying nearly 40 coronavirus cases to the wedding.
Well, of course, our first thought is this is exactly the kind of event that we're trying to prevent from taking place. It's the kind of thing that really is what they refer to as a super spreader.
Adams County's community health director says COVID-19 cases in the rural area were already really high. 1 in 3 tests are positive here. The health department admits people are growing tired of pandemic restrictions and rules.
Especially in a rural area, people that need hospital care, and we don't want to see our hospitals overfull.
It's not clear for now if the wedding couple or hosts could face any penalties. The health district says Labor and Industries could potentially fine the owners of the building where it happened. Health officials in both counties are saying anyone who attended the wedding needs to quarantine until November 21st to stop the spread from getting worse. There's actually free coronavirus testing happening in both Adams and Grant counties throughout this week. Health departments are encouraging people to go if they have any concerns. In Ritzville, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
All right, now to tracking the coronavirus. 234 new cases reported today, 4 new deaths and 2 new hospitalizations since yesterday. That comes to a total of 108 people. In total, more than 13,000 cases have been confirmed in the county, and the health district says 66% of cases have recovered. And the latest data shows us exactly why we must buckle down now, especially here in Spokane County. So let's break it down for you. We'll join Tom over here to take a look at the latest data from the Spokane Regional Health District.
Yeah, the curve that we've been aiming to flatten all year long is now pointing, as you can see, straight up. That's the highest it's been all year long.
And now let's remove the curve. The light blue day marks our new record of 425 new cases reported in one day, and that was on Saturday the 14th. As you can see on the graph there, add in the dates highlighted in orange, and we've had 12 straight days of new reported cases over 100.
So this weekend combined for more new cases than the entire month of June, and Spokane County obviously is not meeting the state metrics.
And right now, our rate per 100,000 new diagnosed cases over a 2-week period sits at 359. That number actually needs to be at 25 or less.
So the percent of positive tests over a week actually needs to be 2% or less. And right now, Spokane County is actually close to 15%. So in order for restrictions to be loosened, the state metrics need to be met.
We are exhausted. We are tired. We are near burnout, if not already burnt out. It's been that difficult these last 8 months.
That Sacred Heart ICU nurse describes the struggles hospital staff are facing during the pandemic. This is the same ICU nurse who spoke during Governor Inslee's announcement on Sunday.
And he told KREM 2's Amanda Rowley the grim details he and fellow nurses are experiencing.
Clint Wallace, you are just now getting off a very long overnight shift. How are you feeling right now?
Tired.
What is your biggest concern right now as an ICU nurse?
My biggest concern is the amount of energy that our staff has spent on at the hospital. We are exhausted. We are tired. We are near burnout, if not already burnt out. It's been that difficult these last 8 months. I think some of them want to just scream out of the top of their heads, like, what is going on? Why can't we just stop this?
You mentioned COVID patients require a bit more attention, a bit more energy. Can you kind of specifically explain what that entails?
At Sacred Heart, we wear, the gloves. We do double glove. We wear a disposable gown, and also either some type of mask, whether it's a PAPR or an N95 and a face shield. So to put all that on, just to go into a room, takes some time. You spend the time with the patient, and then you want to go see another patient. You have to take all that off, leave the room, get your supplies, put all that back on, go into another room.
What would you say are maybe some of the most common complaints or concerns among ICU nurse staff?
Well, it's been very difficult because part of a patient's rehab, or even if it's their end of life, they need some family support. And with COVID, the ICU patients have not been able to get that. And that's been very difficult on staff to see patients alone, to not be able to visit with their family.
Do you have an idea of how many patients you've lost to COVID so far? Just
last week, we saw 10-ish, I'm not sure exactly, deaths. And that's a lot, especially just for one virus. That's a substantial amount of people passing away. And unfortunately, we also see it within families or within friendships that it's clear that one of them gave it to the other person, whether it's the mother gave it to the mother gave it to their daughter and they both got sick, or two friends who spent time together and they both have it.
That can't be easy, because at the end of the day, you're still human.
Exactly.
What keeps you going every day?
I have a great family. I have a great kids that always keep me inspired, and my wife, and I have a wonderful support network who are mostly nurses who we've stayed together via text and at work and bonded. And so having that important support system has been life-saving, literally, for me.
Getting a first-person perspective there. We do want to give you a quick peek, though, at what we're working on for our 6 o'clock broadcast tonight, digging deeper into the Spokane Regional Health Board. It's currently made up mostly of local political leaders. But after their controversial firing of Dr. Bob Lutz, it's raised the question, should there be more medical professionals on the board as well? Our Whitney Ward took that question straight to the board members themselves.
The administrator felt like she could rein the doctor in. The doctor felt like she couldn't. And then it came out as, oh, they're not getting along and he's being insubordinate. And so they each viewed it differently. So our job is to make it super clear on what those rules are.
Is it also tricky because he's the one with the medical degree, the medical experience, and it seems as though someone who doesn't have that is telling him what to do?
Yeah. That's exactly the problem.
And she did ask every single board member to comment on this matter, but Brian Beggs is the only one who responded. Hear the rest of her in-depth investigation tonight on KREM 2 News at 6 o'clock. All right, switching gears to weather now. It was definitely warm, but kind of cloudy and muggy out there, and the wind is definitely upon us. Spokane reached about 50 degrees today, right, Tom?
Absolutely.
And what's it looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, another mild day tomorrow. We'll get close to 50 degrees. Right now, we're at 51. As you can see, some light rain falling across the area. Look how dark it is right now. The sunset time more than an hour ago. Winds are out of the south-southwest right now at 15 miles per hour. When you take a look at the satellite and radar picture, here's the rain that you're seeing moving into the area, and there's a good tap of moisture to the south of us. So we'll continue to see showers, and then we've got another band of rain that I think is going to move in around midday tomorrow. A closer view of the showers. Again, we at times we're in the dry spots, but you can see there's more rain to the southwest of us, and all of it is tracking up towards the northeast. Day planner forecast calling for rain at times tonight, and then overnight showers with some foggy areas, a low of about 38. So at least it's not going to ice up. We'll look for rain instead of snow. And then tomorrow, a dry morning and then rain developing by midday. Might even see partly cloudy skies tomorrow morning. And then we'll look for a daytime high above average at 49 degrees. You know me, I'm always looking ahead to the weekend, right? Right now I've got a mostly dry weekend. We've got 42 degrees on Saturday, Sunday mostly cloudy and 41. I think by Sunday night, though, we're going to see some more rain begin to move into the area. I'll cover more of that for you coming up with my 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.